Okay, WrestleMania 27. Well, okay, before I start, I'm only gonna read off the reviews. I mean, not reviews, results, because I don't pay for the pay-per-view, so I'm restricted to just reading off the results. So, I'm gonna read off who won, and I'm also gonna say my thoughts on it, and I actually did, for this pay-per-view, I looked up, the recap, so I can also say some things that aren't mentioned in the results. So here we go. First one, dark match. There's actually two dark matches for once. Sheamus, the current United States champion, fought Daniel Bryan to a no contest. Now, I actually predicted Sheamus would defeat Daniel Bryan and retain, but he does retain, but he didn't defeat him. So I think what they're trying to do is make um like Daniel Bryan has never defeated Sheamus, so they're trying to do this thing where Daniel Bryan is like warming up, so like he's strengthening up so he can finally give Sheamus his first defeat to him and regain his championship, which based on what I know of the current WWE, I don't think they're gonna do it. I'm pretty sure what they're just gonna do is they're gonna let this storyline go to waste and maybe have Sheamus restart his feud with Triple H or John Morrison again, and just forget about Daniel Bryan again. Seriously, what's up with forgetting about Daniel Bryan? He's really good, and I'm sorry, I'm just pissed off at that. Second dark match. The Great Khali won a battle royale after eliminating Sheamus. That's the typical kind of dark match. Like they usually have just a random battle royale. Yeah, so no thoughts on that. Now the first official match. They started with the World Heavyweight Championship match, which usually doesn't happen near the end, so that was kind of weird. But seeing as how it's with a newcomer and not with like someone who's well established, it kind of makes sense to make it the first match. And here, Edge defeated Alberto Del Rio. Duh. Like, they'd be really stupid if they gave a newcomer the championship fairly, to add. And what I researched, like after the end of the match, Edge destroyed Alberto Del Rio's car with Christian, and Alberto Del Rio was just left crying about his car, which I guess it's a good payoff because they were kind of hinting in the past few weeks that Edge was going to destroy his car, but never got the chance, so it's a payoff for the fans. Match 2. Cody Rhodes defeats Rey Mysterio. I predicted actually Rey Mysterio would beat Cody Rhodes because I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Cody Rhodes is the kind of person who could actually defeat Rey Mysterio, but I read the recap. It sounded like a pretty good match, a pretty even match, and it ended like how a heel would end the match. Like, Cody Rhodes can't defeat Rey Mysterio, so he hits him with a knee brace, so he defeats him, but he doesn't defeat him fairly, so yeah, it makes sense. Third match. Kane, Big Show, Santino Marella, Kofi Kingston defeat the Core. Again, I predicted wrongly. I thought the Core would win, but that I'm being kind of foolish here. It's because last time everyone predicted Wade Barrett's team would win was at SummerSlam, and we all know who how that ended. So here, actually, I didn't really watch SmackDown last week, and what I heard was Wade Barrett is actually the new Intercontinental Champion, which was kind of weird. Like, if which was kind of weird because like they didn't really do anything with him now. Like, I understand he's new to the championship, but like they didn't really. How am I trying to say this? They didn't really build up to him getting the championship or something. I don't know. That's just me. Like, I wanted the Core to win though because I wanted them to look dominant. Like, they failed when they were the Nexus, but I wanted them to dominate as the Core. But once again, WWE trashed on them. And fourth match, Randy Orton defeats CM Punk. I'm gonna admit I actually predicted wrongly, because I predicted CM Punk would win, and I'm going by like the philosophy that they give Randy Orton so much momentum that at the actual match, CM Punk defeating him would just destroy his momentum completely, and establish CM Punk as like as like a really dominant villain. But you know, I actually don't mind Randy Orton defeating CM Punk. I just don't like the fact that this match was built up on a storyline which was in '08. Something that should have been over, like... No, it should have just been over in the same year, but it carried over 3 years later. Like, that's not a very good way of telling a story, but if it gives a good match, then I don't really mind. They need better writers though. Fifth match. Michael Cole with Jack Swagger defeats Jerry Lawler by disqualification. Now, this one when I actually researched, Jerry Lawler actually defeated Michael Cole, but it's because Stone Cold, he interfered, like the same way like that one time John Cena abused his power as referee when it was CM Punk versus Wade Barrett. When Stone Cold was refereeing, he stepped in, and what I heard was he stunnered Jack Swagger and Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler actually made Michael Cole tap out. I think that's what happened, and he actually won, but then the GM came in and said, "Oh, you can't do this," and blah blah blah. So Michael Cole wins, and then Stone Cold went on like berserk, like he went berserk, and he stunnered Booker T and Josh Matthews. So I was wrong that Jerry Lawler lost, but I was right in a way that, okay, I was right that he won, but I was wrong in the way he won. I thought he would win fairly. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at. Or at least I thought they were gonna do this thing where Michael Cole's about to win, but Stone Cold did something that was not illegal, but it distracted Michael Cole. Like, maybe he would have accidentally knocked Jack Swagger to the ground, and Michael Cole would turn his back around, where Jerry Lawler would hit him with, I don't know, whatever move Jerry Lawler has, and Stone Cold wouldn't see it, and he would do the 3 count, blah blah blah. And then at the end, while they're cheering, then Stone Cold does a stunner and beer bash, well, whatever. So that's actually how I thought it would end, but once again I was wrong. So match number 6, Undertaker defeats Triple H. Who no one predicted. I mean, no one honestly thought Triple H was gonna win. When I heard it was Triple H, it was like, this is who they picked for number 19. And I honestly thought that's why they brought The Rock back. But I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. Like, they could have picked anyone better than Triple H. So the match I heard was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, because when I read the recaps, it did sound like a really good match. But I'm still kind of amazed that they picked Triple H as the opponent. Now, I would understand if they built Triple H up, but this is the story. Like, Triple H, before his injury, was put out by Sheamus, so he's out for a few months. Then he comes back. Then when Undertaker, he's out for injuries. He comes back, like, ironically, the same day. So the Undertaker, he's on the mat. I mean, the apron, whatever you call it. And Triple H comes out. They stare at each other, and then Triple H does the DX chop, and then they have a match, I guess. And honestly, when they came back, I thought the Undertaker would restart his feud with Kane, and Triple H would restart his feud with Sheamus. But all that happened was Undertaker forgot, and Triple H, all he did was what did he do? He pedigreed Sheamus on the announcer table and said, "We're even." Like, not even a match. He kind of just pedigreed him. So, once again, this is going on the really incompetent writers. And, you know, honestly thought like they were doing this surprise thing that they were gonna wait until the last moment to have like, well, Triple H will not be competing tonight due to an injury, but we have this opponent for the Undertaker, and then it would hit The Rock's music or Stone Cold's music or even Shawn Michaels the third time around. That would be very funny. Or heck, even like Stone Cold, or that'd be really funny if they brought like Hulk in, but I mean Hulk Hogan, you know, of course. But I'm not gonna say anything more about Undertaker versus Triple H. Like, it did sound like a hard-fought match. I just wish it was. I just wish it was handled a lot better than it was. So, 7th match. The mixed tag team. Snooki's team defeated Lay Cool. I actually predicted that. Like, when you have someone like Snooki there, you have to let her team win. I mean, like, it's ratings, you know. And even though I don't really like Snooki, you know, since she's just a big, since she's new to the WWE, they have to give her a break and just give her one win. And besides, she has Trish Stratus on her team. I mean, come on. So what else? 8th match. Well, actually, there's 2 more matches, but the first one ended with a double countout, and then it ended with a official win. The first one was, no, actually, I'm just gonna say it. The Miz defeated John Cena, and I did not believe it until I read the recap. And what had happened was, The Rock came out, and he actually gave Cena a rock bottom from behind, which allowed the Miz to, you know, do the pin, 1, 2, 3, pinfall. So, and then at the end, The Rock gave the Miz the People's Elbow, which I really want to see. So, the first time they fought, they had a double count out at 14 minutes 44 seconds, and then, you know, then that happened. But I thought I was wrong with, like, because I honestly had no hope in the Miz defeating John Cena. That would never happen. That would not even happen if, like, the Miz worked for the company for years, and that would never happen, because John Cena's the face of the company. Like, this is how they usually build up a John Cena match, in my opinion. They have John Cena and his villain for that season, and John Cena is always getting beat up by the villain. Like, the villain's always doing these cheap tricks, and at the actual pay-per-view, the villain, he hits all his moves, but he somehow cannot bring Cena down. Like, why can't this guy is like superhuman? And then just as the villain is about to hit his super move that will take Cena out, Cena comes back and takes out the villain after overcoming these huge odds, and wins whatever was at stake. That's usually how Cena's matches are built up. Like, whenever he loses, it's usually due to something like, I don't know, interference, or something stupid happened, or he had an injury. And it's usually more on the interference, because if he has an injury, then it actually makes it more likely he's gonna win, because he has to power up for the kids. So, yeah, I didn't believe the Miz defeated him, but I can believe The Rock helped the Miz beat him. So, all in all, I was wrong about most of the results for the whole show, but I was wrong in a way that I didn't expect outside interference. So, I don't know what I'm trying to say. So, overall, overall, this was an okay WrestleMania, I guess, based on the recaps I read. So, I'd like to hear everyone's thoughts about WrestleMania, and I'll see you guys later.